You need to hear this if you're a climate enthusiast. I'm sure you've heard the news. I bet you didn't know how rapidly our planet is changing. Our planet Earth is in a constant state of flux. The climate, driven by human activity, is changing at an unprecedented rate. From rising sea levels swallowing coastlines to warming temperatures turning lush forests into arid deserts, the evidence of climate change is undeniable. We are witnessing the melting of glaciers, the intensification of storms, and the increasing frequency of extreme weather events. The primary driver of this change is the increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, primarily carbon dioxide, released from the burning of fossil fuels. These gases trap heat from the sun, causing the planet's temperature to rise. The impacts of climate change are not evenly distributed. For example, the Arctic is warming at twice the rate of the global average, leading to the rapid melting of sea ice and glaciers. It is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet and the urgent need for collective action. One of the most visible impacts of climate change is rising sea levels. As global temperatures rise, glaciers and ice sheets melt at an accelerated rate, adding more water to our oceans. Low-lying island nations are particularly vulnerable to this threat. In the Pacific Ocean, the nation of Kiribati is facing an existential crisis as rising seas encroach upon its shores. Coastal cities around the world are grappling with the challenges of rising sea levels. From Miami to Mumbai, cities are investing in costly infrastructure projects, such as seawalls and elevated roads, to protect their citizens and infrastructure from the encroaching waters. Coastal ecosystems, such as mangroves, salt marshes and beaches, are also at risk. As sea levels rise, these ecosystems are being squeezed between the ocean and human development, threatening their ability to function and survive. Climate change is not only reshaping coastlines, but also transforming inland landscapes. Deserts, already arid environments, are expanding as temperatures rise and rainfall patterns shift. This process, known as desertification, is turning once fertile land into barren wastelands, threatening livelihoods and exacerbating food insecurity. The Sahel region of Africa is a prime example of desertification in action. Decades of drought coupled with unsustainable land management practices have led to the degradation of vast swathes of land, displacing millions of people and creating a humanitarian crisis. As deserts grow, they encroach upon agricultural lands, reducing crop yields and threatening food security. Moreover, desertification contributes to climate change through a vicious cycle. Beneath the waves, climate change is wreaking havoc on one of the most diverse and valuable ecosystems on Earth, coral reefs. Coral reefs are highly sensitive to changes in water temperature. As ocean temperatures rise due to climate change, corals experience a phenomenon known as bleaching. This occurs when corals expel the symbiotic algae that live within their tissues, causing them to turn white and lose their vibrant colors. While bleached corals are not dead, they are more susceptible to disease and mortality. Mass coral bleaching events have become more frequent and severe in recent decades, threatening the health and survival of coral reefs around the world. The loss of coral reefs would have devastating consequences for marine biodiversity and the millions of people who depend on them for food, livelihoods, and coastal protection. Climate change is altering the delicate balance of ecosystems around the world, and forests are on the front lines of this change. One of the most dramatic impacts of climate change on forests is the increasing frequency and severity of wildfires. Drier conditions, fueled by hotter temperatures and prolonged droughts, create ideal conditions for wildfires to ignite and spread rapidly. These megafires release massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, further exacerbating climate change. In addition to wildfires, forests are also threatened by insect outbreaks, diseases, and invasive species, all of which can thrive under warmer temperatures and altered precipitation patterns. The loss of forests has profound implications for the planet's climate. High up in the mountains, climate change is leaving its mark on glaciers, ancient rivers of ice that have sculpted landscapes over millennia. As global temperatures rise, glaciers around the world are retreating at an alarming rate, with profound consequences for water resources, sea levels, and ecosystems. Glaciers act as natural reservoirs, storing snow and ice during the winter months and releasing meltwater gradually throughout the year, providing a vital source of fresh water for downstream communities and ecosystems. The melting of glaciers also contributes to rising sea levels. As glaciers retreat, these species are losing their habitat, putting them at risk of extinction. Climate change is not just about melting ice caps and rising sea levels. It's about the intricate web of life that sustains our planet. As temperatures soar and weather patterns turn erratic, the delicate balance of ecosystems is disrupted, pushing countless species towards the brink. In the Arctic, polar bears are losing their hunting grounds as sea ice melts at an unprecedented rate. These majestic creatures rely on sea ice to hunt seals, their primary source of food. As the ice retreats, polar bears are forced to travel farther distances, expending more energy and facing an uncertain future. Across the globe, species are struggling to adapt to the rapid pace of climate change. Some are shifting their ranges, moving to higher altitudes or cooler latitudes in search of suitable habitats. However, not all species are equipped to adapt so quickly. The golden toad, once a vibrant inhabitant of the Monteverde cloud forest in Costa Rica, is believed to be the first documented extinction caused by climate change. The Earth is changing, and we, as its inhabitants, are the primary agents of this change. The evidence of climate change is irrefutable, etched into the very fabric of our planet, from rising sea levels to melting glaciers, from extreme weather events to shifting ecosystems. It is a global challenge that demands a global response, a collective effort to mitigate its impacts and preserve the delicate balance of our planet for future generations. We must act now with urgency and determination to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, transition to clean and renewable sources of energy, and adopt sustainable practices that reduce our environmental footprint. The choices we make today will determine the fate of our planet and the well-being of generations to come. Each and every one of us has a role to play in this collective endeavor. By acknowledging the urgency of the climate crisis and taking collective action, we can still avert the worst consequences of climate change and create a sustainable future for all. The time to act is now for the sake of our planet and the generations that will inherit it.